a tagging window where he can catch all of the defenders that are actively moving during that tagging window.
So he actually has this ability, and break it down to us exactly how it works.
And so you will start by getting a window of warning for all players on the map, and once it goes, there's a 4-second window, and if you are caught as a defender moving during that window, that time frame, you will get your position tracked in real time.
And I don't think we saw that just right on that first asset, so let's take a look at how it actually works in action when he activates it for the first time. So let's take a and actually we're going to take a look at it from the teammate perspective. So
so now we're at the POV of Zofia, and she gets the information, and she gets an easy wallbang there, thanks to great coordination between her and Lion. And so that's all that I've been saying. That it's all about coordination. But these globals, if you use them alone, they don't work out. You need to work with your team.
Yeah. So introducing another collaboration element. Of course, that was from the perspective of the teammate when that's activated. And that's I mean, it's such a powerful tool to provide intel. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a little bit of depth here in terms of how that works on the actual defender side. And there's two different kind of states for the defenders: moving and standing still. So what happens when you're moving and Lion activates its gadget?
So when you're moving and Lion activates his gadget, we'll see now classic Ella roaming Watchtower. And she gets caught moving during that tagging window, and Lion can just swoop in and get the kill because he knows exactly where she is in real time until the time window ends.
So obviously, as you're moving, when you're moving, this and Lion activates his gadget, you're going to get that red line around you. But there is a way to sort of prevent this by standing still. What does that look like?
It's a soft counter to the ability. You have a choice to remain still, and when you remain still, you do not get tracked. But now we see Pulse is wiggling around, trying to wiggle the angle, and he gets detected by Lion. But Lion is not careful. He did not see that Ella was there. And so it's not hard intel that Lion provides, because you will never get 100% accurate information on all of the defender's position. So you need to use it wisely, pair it with droning to be efficient with it.
Pair it with droning to be efficient with it, and it really plays with the psychology of the defenders, and this is really kind of like crowd control.
It's kind of a soft crowd control, yeah. So it gives a choice to the player. Are you safe enough to risk moving and being tracked, or are you in a sticky situation where you'd rather stand still?
As we saw with Dokkaebi, when your phone is ringing, as a defender, you have a choice to either answer it or let it ring and
exactly.
annoy you. With this gadget for the defenders, you have the opportunity to either run around and be spotted, or stand still and play that waiting game.
Yeah, and when you pair that with droning, say you find someone in the bathrooms droning with your drone, and you call to Lion to activate his ability, you know you had him there, and if he moves, you will 100% know. And so that's very valuable information paired with droning.
Absolutely, very valuable information. And what kind of situations does Lion shine with that valuable?
Well, he shines in many situations, but on his retakes, he's a monster. So now we see the little Jaeger coming for a nasty roam, but he gets denied instantly, and now they go in for the bomb plant. And we'll see Lion activate his ability, and now the defenders have to move, right? They need to retake this site.
And to retake, and as we saw in there, he can use it 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And for how long does it last about?
So the time window is 4 seconds. It's a 3-second warning plus a 4-second active window, and there's a 10-second cooldown between each charge, so you cannot just chain tag.
So you can't just spam this thing. There's actually you have to wait 10 seconds in between.
Exactly.
So a little bit of strategy there as to where you're going to actually utilize this gadget.
Yeah, and also when in the round, do you want to keep it for the retake as an attacker? Do you want to use it to drone yourself in to try and get information on the roamer? There's really a lot of situations, and it's all up to your team to figure out when's the best time to use that.
Absolutely. So that's a look at this gadget. Let's take a look at the loadout, what armor and speed is.
So he's a 2-2. He's a little beefy, but he's a 2-2 So that felt like a natural fit for him. Just a standard like loadout.
And what are his primaries and secondaries?
So his primary is the Chris 308, and he comes equipped with the other French weaponry, which is the 417 and the SGCQP, along with the P9, if I'm not mistaken, the LFP 586, and a Claymore and a flashbang. But now I hear you, you mean another vector, a drum magazine vector, but it's not that high ROF because it shoots 308 bullets, right? And so it's the same kind of, it's the same weapons, the same technology that's used, but it's a really way less
so
rate of fire.
As with the vector that is on Mira, it's a little bit different. It's not as, it doesn't have the same rate of fire. It's a little bit slower.
No, it's I would say it's much closer to an LMG than an actual like high ROF SMG.
I hear a lot of players out there saying when they saw the vector, they were like, you know what, I'm going to be a vector main now. I'm going to be an attacker and defender with a vector.
Like you get to be a vector main now.
Really cool. So, who is the best counter to Lion? How do we stop it?
There is a very hard counter to Lion, and it's mute. If you are standing in the radius of a mute jammer, you are free to move, and you will not get detected. And so now we see a clever use of mute who kept a jammer for him while he's roaming, and now he can wiggle the angle, and Lion just unaware.
He gets crushed. So
yeah.
Let's look at it at Lion. We're going to play a little bit of some footage of Lion in action as we talk a little bit more about his ability. And now I just want to break it down because you did mention he has a 3-second ability that this is active, and you don't get the red lines when this is when you're standing still. But what does that mean actually? Does it mean that if you're rotating or aiming down sight, is that going to actually?
So yeah, it's really like the rule is pretty simple. It's all about movement. You're free to do other things while you're in the window. You're free to rotate. You're free to aim. You're free to shoot. You're free to throw a C4. You're free to change stances. You're free to deploy a gadget. But it's really about moving. You press that W, you tilt that joystick forward a little bit, you will get spotted instantly.
So really just about the movement. And Amelia, I want to turn to you. Is this kind of exciting thing to be releasing 2 attackers? I don't think that was really, I think we need to really address that where both Lion and FINKA are attackers, and how do you think that's going to impact the meta?
That's a very good point. It is something very new for us to introduce to attackers, so it's a bit of a new way to address the season. We don't really know how it will work. We do intend to balance it out by introducing 2 defenders later this year. Yeah, 2 attackers is very interesting. That will bring 2 new ways to handle the meta for one side. So yes, defense will be a bit at a disadvantage right now. But based on our data, currently defense is winning a bit more, so I'm not too afraid on how impactful that might be. It will require people to apprehend new ways to play the same round, so that's going to be interesting.
And now, as we've seen with both FINKA and Lion now, these kind of global abilities, global buffs, is this sort of a trend that you guys are really excited about implementing into the game where we have this really kind of teamwork and collaborative work with the operator's abilities?
Yes, well, collaboration is always on our mind for every operator we make. It is core to Siege, it's super important for us. But globals in themselves, it's more like a theme for this season. We kind of introduced it with DoKB earlier, but this is really the thematic of that season is the global effect. It doesn't mean that every operator moving on, it's just for this specific season. We are trying to explore something new, and we're really looking forward to see how that new gameplay area will affect the meta.
Yeah, and not only really kind of affect the meta on the defender side, but also on the attacker side. I mean, we really need to think about how the attackers are moving in, coordinating in, and pushing into a site now as these players are moving along. And one thing that's really kind of interesting with Lion's gadget is that you have this choice as a defender whether or not to give that attacker the intel. Is that something that you guys are really kind of interested in evolving, which is more the psychology of the game? As a defender, do I move? Do I run?
I mean, yeah, we've been We've been looking at this kind of psychology. I mean, as Emilien said, we're really focusing on bringing new gameplay to Siege. We believe that's a way to keep a game fresh, and we're just as designers. I mean, like, this is really exciting. We want to bring new kinds of gameplay. Like, Siege is never going to stay the same for long. We're always going to be changing the formula a bit and introducing all sorts of new gameplays, and yeah, get ready for it. There's some good stuff going.
I think as soon as players get comfortable, you guys come in and just like mess it all up. Especially whenever somebody asks me why doesn't Bandit or Jaeger have an ACOG anymore, you know, it's because we like to change things up a little bit.
Well, we have competitiveness at heart too. You know, we can identify when some things are broken. We introduce new rules. We just like to keep players on their toes.
Keep players on their toes, and they will be definitely keeping players on their toes with the addition of FINKA and Lion. I'm so excited for these operators. So that is a look at our two new operators coming with Operation Chimera on March 6th. Please give a big round of applause to Simon Emilien. But that is not all, of course. With Operation Chimera, we always release a few new cosmetics, and we are also releasing an Ash Elite skin that will be free for all players. As long as you play one game before March 6th, you can get this free Ash Elite skin, which we'll be talking about tomorrow during the Outbreak panel, which is really cool. And then, of course, we also have customized BDUs for both FINKA and Lion, which play within the theme of the operation and really customize them from head to toe, which is really great. They look incredible. This is a look at FINKA, and here's a look at Lion as well in his new seasonal BDU, which I think players are going to be really excited for. And of course, with Operation Chimera, there's going to be a ton of fixes and game improvements. You can look for the patch notes launching on Monday, February 19th, just after this event this weekend. So, without further ado, that is Operation Chimera. Please give a big round of applause to my guests live on the test servers on February 19th, Monday, and live in game for Year 3 Season Pass owners on March 6th. Don't go anywhere. We have an exciting matchup between Evil Geniuses and Rogue. But first, let's check out this video.
There are two formidable new attacking operators in government-issue yellow suits coming to Rainbow Six Siege. Do not be alarmed if you suddenly feel a burst of health, experience drastically reduced recoil, or feel that you can see through walls. It's all perfectly normal for Operation Chimera. These CBRN specialists are at home in both cooperative and competitive situations. They're both rated 2 speed and 2 armor, and they each have 3 primary weapon options to help you play to your strengths. Let's start with FINKA, the Spetsnaz specialist who's here to enhance your performance with her Adrenal Surge ability. By triggering nanites in the attacker's bloodstreams, FINKA juices her whole team with a veritable pharmacopoeia of boosts and buffs. As soon as the borders of your vision go blue, you'll get a shot of extra health. This HP boost can also revive any teammates that are down but not out, no matter how far away they are. Boosted attackers will also move faster through barbed wire and recover more quickly from concussion and flashbang effects. And here's the kicker. This is your recoil. This is your recoil on Adrenal Surge. Any questions? Adrenal Surge is available for use twice per round. Side effects include an elevated heart rate, which makes Adrenal Surge users detectable from longer range by pulse. Do not use Adrenal Surge if you are in or plan to be in a cloud of toxic smoke, as your faster rate of breathing will lead to faster injury and death. If you step on a goo mine or get zapped by a yokai drone, the effects of Adrenal Surge will cease immediately. Adrenal Surge is not an effective barrier against frost traps. Ask your teammates to find out if FINKA is right for you. Now let's talk Lion. Hailing from the GIGN, Lion is a formidable presence thanks to his very large backpack and his indestructible aerial drone that constantly hovers in the sky. Dubbed the EE-1D, this drone can scan the entire map, and any defender that is caught moving during the scan will be immediately lit up with a real-time, full-body outline that the entire attacking team can see. Lion takes getting droned out to a whole new level, and he can give the attackers an edge at almost any point in their assault, from dealing with spawn peekers to defending a planted diffuser. But there are a few ways the defenders can fight back. Once Lion activates his drone, both attackers and defenders will see a countdown, letting them know the scan is incoming. When the scan goes live, a visual effect kicks in, and a timer icon appears on screen to show you how long it'll last. Once it's gone, there's a cooldown before Lion can scan again, and he can scan 3 times per round. The easiest way for you defenders to avoid getting tagged by the scan is to simply not move your feet. You can rotate in place, aim down sights, fire your weapon, and even change stance without being detected, but the second you move your feet, you're tagged. Mute jammers will disrupt the scan, so you can freely move as long as you're inside the jamming radius, but the moment you leave, you're tagged. Still, getting tagged isn't a death sentence, and a crafty defender can try to bait attackers into pursuing their bright red outline, while their stationary teammate lies in wait for an ambush. To keep up with the latest in Rainbow Six Siege, subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at news.ubisoft.com.